Hey, what's up YouTube? Ebonstar here, and we're back with a very special Play It Painted. This is MNSU bonus coverage of the Sylvan Bowl Season 7 semifinals between the San Diego Froggers and the Greenskin Packers. So, Froggers coming in at the number 2 slot and the Packers at the number 3. Very anticipated game, and we're going to take you right into the action. So here we are setting up on the board. I won the coin toss, so I elected to kick. So that's the Froggers setting up on the far side there. I set up in a short zone coverage. Meanwhile, Jake is setting up the Greenskin Packers there in a kind of a standard formation there, kind of a shotgun style formation. So we're rolling a kickoff. We end up with cheering fans. Jake with +1 fame on the match, so he gets an extra reroll, and we get straight to the blocking. So you can see Jake knocking down some frogs with blocking. Now his blocking really wasn't terribly strong this game. He did manage to get some injuries, and we'll see those, but overall, I mean, considering the number of blocks that he threw, I thought I made out fairly fortunate there. So now it's my turn. I did manage to get one orc down, and really just kind of waiting for this play to develop. So you can see closest to our screen here, Jake has the cage set up right midfield there, and he's starting to take some frogs out. And so I'm kind of working that the left side of your screen. I've got a blitzer there who's got strip ball, so I think I can actually get over to the ball carrier and take care of him. So I mark one edge of the cage there just to take one guard away, or one assist away, and I try to bring my blitzer in, but he fails and falls down right next to the cage. However, I do manage to get the ball carrier down. The ball bounces, however, and ends up in another orc's hand. So even though I was able to bust the cage there and knock the ball out of the falling Barf Star's hands there goes the ball again. But he stands up and manages to pick it up again. So good recovery by Jake. I'm still trying to work on his cage. Now here's the part where I think I could have done something different. Now I could have pulled back a little bit and let this play develop while I worked on the peripheral of the cage, just kind of trying to isolate him. Instead, though, I stick to my plan of on the ball defense, and I still have that blitzer there trying to get in. Here's Jake moving the cage a little bit after he gets some blocking bonuses. So here we go. Cage moves upfield, and that's going to happen without my blitzer, because what happened was my blitzer ended up falling down, getting injured by one of Jake's players. He suffered a miss next game, and I wanted him in the game so bad. So once again, I'm rolling the dice. So I make him try to use. I use my apothecary, and sure enough, Jake gets the same result. So the apothecaries have not historically worked well for me. So here's me trying to get another strip ball guy into that cage. So Jake does a great job with time of possession in this game, and you can see him, he's just sticking to basic stuff. I put down his ball carrier again, and you can see the ball pop loose there on the far right. So I have a shot of getting to this ball, but Jake recovers pretty quickly there. And I've got some frogs right next to the ball, so I actually have a chance at getting the ball. The problem I get is I end up throwing a whole bunch of ones, and I cannot pick up the ball. So that's a recurring pattern in this game. I never really do get it going on the dice rolls. You'll see that on my giant die there is on a 1, and it will stay on 1 for quite a bit during this game. Very frustrating. That is one of the more frustrating parts of Blood Bowl. So he's broken loose from the cage. The player's on the top there, and I actually throw a lightning bolt using my induced wizard, and you can see there it is. There's a 1 again. on the lightning bolt. So the lightning bolt didn't happen either. Picking up the ball on the 1 didn't happen either. Lots of 1s in a row, and it looks like Jake is going to be able to break free for the touchdown. I fail another dodge. There's my 1. Lots of 1s going on this game. You know, it's tough to recover when Nuffle does not want you to play the game at all. But that said, I mean, I really should have let this play kind of develop before committing to breaking in the cage so well there. It cost me a player and a knockout. So I lost my my Star Blitzer, and I had another frog get knocked out. Tried to roll for him to come back in. It did not happen. So now Jake is kicking off to me, and I'm in my hurry-up offense because this is now turn 7 of the first half. So with all of the number of times the ball had hit the ground in the first half and my inability to pick it up, it actually worked out better for Jake because he was able to grind out a 1-0 lead here at the half. But, you know, I haven't given up. You can see that I'm throwing some catchers downfield. I've got 2 catchers open right now, and I pulled back with my ball carrier who is supposed to go pick up that ball and then huck it downfield for a Hail Mary play. That's really my only shot at this point. Jake is doing his best to just cover people downfield. You can see that he spreads his defense, which is fantastic. It's a great thing to do against frogs. I do manage to get that frog into the end zone, though. And here comes the ball, and I'm hoping for a lucky scatter. You can see the ball is still in play, but now, unfortunately, it does not happen, and we are into the second half. So Jake is up 1-0 at this point. He's going to kick off to me again. I'm setting up my offense there. And, you know, we're just going to see if I can actually get to the end zone. Now, once again, I am on the back foot now. So when you're on the back foot, you tend to do more dice rolls. And when you tend to do more dice rolls, you tend to fail more dice rolls. So it's kind of a never-ending pattern for me. The frogs do require quite a bit more dice rolls than your average Blood Bowl team. Not so much block dice, but the regular dice. And I cannot for the life of me buy a decent die roll. So anyway, the ball's in the backfield there on that catcher that's right next to that yellow block die. Jake is trying to get to the catcher, but he does the smart thing. If you look here, he's got lots of players on his side of the field. He's playing a zone and he's committed to it. And you don't see that a lot against the frogs. You see a lot of guys try to go straight for that ball carrier. Jake knows that he can't reasonably get to that ball carrier, so he's just going to commit to playing prevent. And I think that's the smartest thing that he can do. So now you can see I'm able to move that ball. I'm trying to move the ball upfield into that half cage there I've got on the left side of the screen. So I walk up, hand off the ball. Well, hasn't happened yet. Hold on. So here comes Jake. He's going to try to lock down my half cage. So he's got a little bit of coverage going. He's still playing a prevent. Now, I could have tried to fake and go the other way. And in hindsight, that might have worked, or it might have not have worked. It might have bought me maybe a couple more turns with the ball, but I don't think this is going to happen. So now I'm thinking about my play here. I'm going to try the flea flicker. So I move one orc out of the way, which is good. And I've got the other frog there open. That frog there is there just to kind of lock those guys down, just to keep their feet planted. So the flea flicker is enacted. I do the handoff to this catcher. Catcher rolls up. He's got to throw one square. So I'm looking at 2 and 2. Well, there goes the first one, and there goes the second one. He cannot catch the ball, but a regular lineman catches the ball, and guess what? He tries to leap because he's about to be thrown out of bounds, and I throw another one. So lots and lots and lots of ones this game. Very frustrating. I could never really get it going. And it was kind of disappointing, not just for me, but I believe it was disappointing for Jake too, because you know, we were really looking forward to this game. I think we both played it fairly well. I would say that Jake did outplay me, though. I don't want to take anything away from him. It's just very frustrating when the dice rolls are against you and you can't, you know, even get the simplest 2-up rolls to happen. So my die is just sort of sitting there on the 1 the whole game. Meanwhile, Jake has recovered the ball. from my drop, and I think I suffer another knockout at this point. Yes, the catcher who didn't come in actually gets knocked out. So now Jake is trying to get the ball upfield. I'm pulling back. You can see my guys coming back, getting ready to defend against this cage. Now, he has unknowingly taken 2 of these strip ball guys out. So, with 2 of the strip ball guys out, Jake is going to advance this ball up the field. Now, I'm still playing fairly strong defense here. I mean, I'm doing a good job disrupting him, trying to keep his cage from forming. And, you know, that's good, but I'm losing time. And the more dice I have to roll, the more dice I'm going to fail. So, here's me getting some more pieces around his cage. Getting ready for my next strike. So, I'm coming in. Here comes Jake upfield. He does not quite break loose. Now, there's that giant scrum in the middle there. I do get the ball out of bounds, but that's where Jake actually kills that catcher right there. So in the middle of that scrum, the catcher that I've got on the bottom of the screen dies from Jake hitting him. And Jake has been killing a player a game this entire season. So no surprise there. I'm not that... I don't feel too bad for losing that catcher. He actually had the wrong skill. I don't know why he had block. I was trying to give him dodge. But anyway, I had to check my messages there for a second. But yeah, the clock is ticking down. So even if I do manage to get the ball, I'm only looking at a tie here. But that said, I still feel like I have a shot. I still have a strip ball guy. Jake's play is kind of shaky at this point, even though he does have a numeric and a strength advantage on me. I'm still getting in there, trying to knock things loose. I do disrupt his cage for a little bit, but as you can see, my turn counter is already on turn 7, and so Jake decides that, you know, hey, he's going to play aggressive here towards the end. He manages to break out of the cage, and he is going to end up trying to pass to that guy upfield. I managed to get 1 frog on him, but that's it. So, end of the game, 2-0. Congratulations, Jake, and we'll see you in the Sylvan Bowl.